Good morning, guys. It is nearly, it's like 6:40 now. I didn't just wake up. These are the first words I'm speaking, but I wanted to share something that was on my mind because I was messaging, I was telling I was writing about, someone asked about EMDR, like actual experience with that. So I was writing my experience with that, like in a nutshell. And then this like visual came to me. Okay, so this is my very non-scientific but real world experience of trauma in a nutshell. So I had this visual of, like a door with one of those slots in the door, the metal slots, and it's like, it creaks. I never had one, but cartoons and stuff. And the mailman puts a piece of mail through the slot and it goes into your house. And when trauma happens, it's as if that slot is propped open and thousands of pieces of mail are just shooting through as fast as possible, right? So now all of a sudden, in an instant, you have this huge pile of mail. You don't have one piece of mail you have to deal with, you have thousands of pieces of mail. And in that pile, there are pieces of mail that are like bills that need to be paid that are urgent. There are, invitations to birthdays and, weddings. There's coupons that could be useful, but only, there's maybe checks in the mail that you want to cash and could be beneficial to you. And there's a lot of junk mail, right? But you still have to do something with it. So you've got this huge pile, like stacked to the ceiling of this mail right behind your front door. And what the brain does is the brain perceives, emotional or physical, real or imagined pain as death, right? And it loves the familiar. So you have this huge pile next to your door and you want to deal with it. But your brain's going to do everything to be like, well, wait, we care about survival as a brain. We don't care about expanding. We definitely don't want to go out of our comfort zone, right? Like, no, because it's like cavemen, like, that means instant death. Like you don't go around the corner, from the cave without someone or, no, you don't expand. You stay where we know we can survive. So your brain doesn't care about your, expansion. It cares about surviving. And the fact is that you have technically survived all this time with that huge pile of mail, right? And there are things in that pile of mail that you do know could be really painful. So why would we do that, right? Especially since new mail's coming in every single day. It's like, nope. So your brain's like, nope, too much, can never do it. No. And healing trauma is like picking up a piece of the mail, opening it, looking at it for what information it has, making an ultimate decision about it, and moving on to the next piece, right? Like processing the mail. So, okay, tummy, my stomach, I noticed it does it. So anyway, that whole thing came to me this morning. And I could do another video about my experience with EMDR. But my point is that I would love to create a community where we support each other and truly love each other as we open our pieces of mail. Because our heart knows that until this mail is processed, we don't get to be as full, like live as fully as we deserve to. And I feel like I can say that with pretty good confidence because even though I experience a lot of stress and stuff, it's because I'm opening the mail. And I've never regretted ultimately opening a piece of mail, if that makes sense. So last night, I did, kind of not force, but, very much like encourage myself to still take that bath, to do some tapping. and I am better for it. It's kind of like, think of like a workout that someone knows is good for them, but they do have to kind of gear themselves up and do it. It's like that with emotional work too. And a big thing I would suggest is, which I'm doing, which is why I'm suggesting it, is so I do tapping in the tub now, unless there's a storm. I need to think of an alternative for when there's a storm, but there hasn't been a storm yet. And then when I drain the tub, I imagine the trauma and all of that going down the drain, to be purified and transformed. And then I make myself take a shower and turn on upbeat music after the fact to change the energy back to now. And that's been really helpful for me. Another thing I've done, since I could never cry and stuff, is the times where I'm alone and I've noticed this, and music is playing and I start crying, I keep the music on. Because what happens for me is it's like, it gets really dark, like physically, like really dark, like clouds covering, like I'm the sunshine and the clouds come and it's a storm. But if I like hold on, right, I don't numb, I don't run, I don't distract, I stay in it. Even though it feels like you're going to die, you will not die. It will feel like that, but that's your brain trying to protect you. But it won't happen, I promise you, because I've already done it multiple times. After the storm, the clouds part, and I feel brighter, lighter, clearer, everything. And I keep the music on because it's like an anchor. It's like it grounds me in, I'm still here. So I just wanted to share that. Like I said, I'm available to like help. Like that's what I really want to do, is be like, what are your goals in life? And let's create a logistical map for those, okay? Which you can do, anybody can do. The hard part is as you approach those goals and all of these mental blocks, right? And then when people say, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I disagree. If you believe you can, what gave me chills, I think it's right. At least for me, I know it's right. So I can think anything. And trust me, I tried all the conscious stuff you could possibly think of, think of. It's not about thinking. It's about believing, like the internal. Because remember, the conscious mind, which is like the prefrontal cortex, like what you think you're doing, is like an ant. And the subconscious, which is running the show, is the elephant. So we need to get the elephant on board, not the ant, So, and I feel like I can speak to this on authority, because I can tell you for a fact that I am reaching, the fact that I'm even doing these videos is almost unbelievable, but it's not, because I'm breaking through every single limitation that was put on me, It's absolutely incredible, and that's what I want for other people. And so I would love to help you first create a logistical roadmap of what you want, and then really emotionally support you along the way. Because I will tell you from experience as well that you can have a life full of accomplishments and feel dead inside. And that is not what life is about. That's not what life is about, So remember that merely accomplishing things will not bring you joy. Like, depends at what cost. And to me, life is about feeling like the vitality of life. And that way, it doesn't matter how mundane, or insignificant, I'm putting quotes because it's not true, the event is, you can have an amazing time, right? So, I want to do so much in the world. I really do. But even if I don't ever get to do those actual things, I am pouring so much life into my, was it like, it's not the amount of hours in your life, it's the amount of life in your hours. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And so I just want to pass that on, because not only does it give you a much richer experience of life, but it also puts you in control. So you don't have to be like, oh, I need to create this amazing event or something, in order to feel happiness. You can feel happiness right freaking now. You can feel happiness if the event's canceled. Like, I'm just saying, it's the in my opinion, it's the ultimate power. So anyway, love you guys.